I learned very well how to hide. I learned it very well. My journey was about Debra, what God was requiring of me.
We're back with Debra Winans, and this is the question. The next question is the question I've wanted to ask Tremaine Hawkins. I've wanted to ask Monique Walker, and my parents just got divorced last year after 35 years. And so I know a little bit of the answer, but I'll still ask you, what is it like going through a divorce in the church?
It is probably one of the most humiliating and painful experiences because people expect you to hold your head up high and to move and function as you normally do and just move on. You move on to the next thing. Oh, it's just something that happens. I beg to differ. There is a tearing, there is a ripping, there is a covenant that is broken. So even though you've been divorced or you're going through a divorce and you have all these other things, even a ministry or a business, I think where we miss it, sometimes we don't stop and face the reality of where we really are.
If I'm correct, Ecclesiastes does say there is a time to mourn.
Yes, it's natural.
It's absolutely.
And where we get in trouble is we live in denial and think that, okay, well, I'm just going to keep going because I got to work the ministry, I got to do it. Well, really, you're spewing your venom. You're singing your venom,
absolutely,
whether you believe it or not. And one of the things that was difficult for me is when I was hurting, I would attend conferences because I needed something. I had 2 small babies.
How old?
At the time, they were 4 months and 3.5 when all this began. And so I was looking for a word from heaven. I needed something. I had been a conference speaker, the leadership training, all of that, but I was the one in need this time. And I would go to conferences and ready for it to receive, and I'm getting this junk. And I would walk away more damaged than when I came. That is when the process became real to me. That is when I said, okay, God, I am so determined to find out what in the world do you want from me in all of this. There's got to be a reason. I don't have a clue what that is, but why am I here? So my journey was quiet. It's easy to go and speak on a platform and tell all your business. It's easy. That's the easy thing to do, to tell everybody he did whatever. But that's not where I was coming from. My journey was about Debra, what God was requiring of me, looking at things for what they were, taking the responsibility for the part that Debra played.
It's very easy for us who have been betrayed in any relationship, married or not, to vilify the other person as they did.
Absolutely.
And again, my parents just divorced last year after 35 years. What were some of the things that in hindsight, Debra did wrong, that if you're speaking to other women need to check themselves?
Sure. I think the first thing is acknowledging what you brought into the marriage that has absolutely nothing to do with your spouse. Nothing to do with them. Whether it's childhood hurts, whether it's past experiences, I think looking at that and saying, what did I contribute? Okay, maybe I was insecure. Okay, I didn't have a clue who I was. It's so easy to get caught up. I mean, he was all over the world. I am a background person. I love being in the background. However, that was safe for me. And as long as I stayed back there, I learned very well how to hide. I learned it very well. So I had to start looking at, wow, I was really insecure in this area.
Were you insecure before you got married?
No.
You weren't?
I was not. I'll tell you why. I have 5 brothers.
Okay.
And all 5 of my brothers are in ministry. So ministry was not unusual to me. I understood it. I had a brother who was in business, and so I've been around the wealth and all of that. So that was not unusual. However, what I realized is my role with my brothers and a role as a wife were 2 different things.
Wow.
Okay.
Stop. We only have a couple more minutes. You're here in the Green Room Live. I'm going to ask 2 more questions. Okay. Why write a book? Why not just heal privately? We'll ask that after the break. Okay. And then I'll save the last question. Yeah, in the Green Room Live.